Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark, and everything in between. Please read my credentials down below, who I am, before you start running amok. Okay? There's nobody like me on the internet, so don't compare apples to oranges. Alright? And if you want me to do a comparison like I did in some of my other past videos of who's better of an alpha or whatever, I'll do that, okay? You know, that's fine. But I didn't say my intro. So anyone who's just, you get offended by anything I say, the way I move or the way I sound, as eccentric as it is, or you want to think a certain way without asking any questions, these videos are not for you. If you get emotional, get hurt, or something picks at you, something's telling you not to listen to me, don't watch. Don't watch, okay, all right? But let's get on with the videotape now here. Now, I had to make this video because I saw a guy, Please Act Right, make a video about how he was being mentally abused in the relationship. I want you guys to understand that if you just do some research on this, 60 to 70% of women have mental issues, especially when it comes to basic narcissism. Okay, it is not all their fault, but it is truly their fault if they don't want to listen to the elders. It's truly their fault if they don't want to get help. Okay, even though men commit more suicide, because men hold it in more because of loneliness and composure, okay, women tend to don't care. They don't really care. They are very most likely, they feel that they're entitled, okay, and this thing has been taught to them by the single motherhood syndrome. So let me tell you about my mental abuse as I was being abused, okay? Now, as I said before, in 2012, I met my virgin Ethiopian wife, okay? And what happens is that everything is hinky-dinky as usual. I talked to her for like 5 years. 5 years of talking to her, communicating with her back and forth, yada, yada. Is there something wrong? There's something wrong. Tell me. I'm always like that. I'm always upfront. And also, I like to play psychological testing games to make sure if she's like, real, authentic or real. Okay, like for example, like I tell her all the time, you shouldn't listen to other people behind my back and talk to them, and you shouldn't be concerned about what people say about me when they don't know me. And I tested her with that, and I basically went through pretty fine. Okay. Also, about the virginity thing, I had to test for that. Okay. At that time, I wasn't like really forcing the polygyny thing on her, but I did hint to her many times that your sister and you would do benefit well if I were to bring you into America. So I'm just straight up front. I'm a real alpha. I do not hide shit. I told her all about my past. Okay, I don't have a great evil past or a criminal past. I don't have that. Okay, but of course, I got in trouble one time, but of course, that's just a mistake, okay? And I'm not a sinner for that. But as I eventually met her after 5 years of talking to her on the internet, I actually met her through something called the Heart of Asia Online. She was on that site for quite a while, and she looked pretty unique in her own fashion. Her English, she speaks and writes English at a 60% rate level, better than the rest, okay? There was other females, but she was the one who was keeping in touch. And she always said these words, as I belong to you. And I said, okay. So we went through the process of she trading me the right things that I needed. So I give her things first, and she gives me the things back. So if I show you a nude photograph of myself and everything of who I am, you are going to have to do that. When you don't do these things, I do not move. Because I'm an alpha. I'm not supposed to just go on a hunch that you're a good person. Hell no, okay, I actually talked to her about money. Everything is focused on respect, money, and love, and spirituality. She said she was a Christian. I said, okay, then you're easy. It's easy. But most people who say they're religious are big hypocrites, especially women, okay? But other than that, so I just believe her, and 5 years of talking, communication, as I went out there, everything is hanky thing. Her father was there, and that's the thing that you guys who are strong and not afraid will have to do. You have to meet the family. Okay, if you're a serious person, you have to meet the family, and I was genuinely serious. I even recorded my marriage, okay, on there, okay. But I really didn't want to get married, okay, because I listened to my Holy Spirit. My Holy Spirit speaks to me because I have no sins in my past, but that's another subject for another day, and I'm not trying to be arrogant about that, okay. If you want to know why I say such a thing, it's because I didn't socialize when I was a child. All the way up to this age of 17, I was locked away. Okay, you can call that abuse. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. But I forgive my parents. I understand it wasn't all their fault. Yada yada. Because I love psychology. But let's go back to the story. I entered Ethiopia. Everything is hinky dinky. She's usually not a very physically active person, but her sister was. Okay, so basically, I've already hinted to her. Say, hey, me and your sister, we all good with polygyny. It seemed to be okay. Everything seemed to be fine. Okay, I was happy there. I even tried to get other females and boldly talking to her. I said, hey, we should do this. We got a baby on the way. Okay, we wasn't married, but she was a virgin, a bona fide virgin, father approved and everything else like that. But the problem was is that I was skeptical that she would stay this way if I brought her back into America. And I mentioned this in May 2013 before I came back to America. And I really didn't want to go back. So I even tried to lose my passport and shit. But I knew that she would probably change by 70%, even though this is my first female I've ever sexually encountered with physically, okay? I lost my virginity when I was like 31, 32, and she lost her virginity when she was 27. She's like I think 5 years younger than me, I think so. But anyway, long story short, fast forward to 2015. Okay, I brought her into America. I brought her right into the United States, into Brooklyn, New York, with my mom. My mom is really strict. Okay, you don't want to play with her. Okay, at all. Okay, her house needs to be clean. Things will be done. Okay, because she is an alpha woman. Okay, she demands things to be done her way, on the highway. So I get there, and next thing you know, she seems all hanky dinky and nice. Everything is fine and nice. I don't mind if she even hang with my mother and all of my sisters, but I knew that she would probably listen to some of them, but I didn't care because I told her, talk to me. If you got some problem, if you're into Christianity, follow the Bible. The Bible gives you instructions. But anyway, my abuse started coming when I moved from New York, Brooklyn, New York, to the Washington County area. Okay, and so out here, there's low crime. It's mostly a farming area, and I'm thinking that everything will be perfect and sweet and dandy, and eventually I'll be able to divorce my wife and get her sister, which was the plan all along, okay? Because I really wanted her family over here one by one, but of course I had plans, but she must have didn't hear me. But the problem was when we was living together, she had the tendency of trying to cheat and also listen to certain crackers, okay? White folks. You know how the feminist movement started with. It started with black people, black females, a house Negro and a slave. But the white woman, Gloria Steinem, activated that shit back in the 40s, I think it was. So, other than that, long story short, I told her do not walk on the floor barefooted in these houses. Okay, these houses are built like 1919, 1930, and I don't know who has been in these houses, whatever evil spirit it is. She just kept doing it. She just kept walking on that floor. That's part of my OCD sickness in this country. When you're in Africa, I didn't have that problem. I didn't care what she walked at, because that's Africa. Not a lot of white people walked in her area. Okay. But me, I have a tendency of sensing things out with my intuition, which works, okay? And I knew she was trying to change, but even my boy Chuck was like, hey, she's gonna change. And she did change. She actually fell for the trap because I have traps laid out because I'm not stupid, okay? So the traps was that she was abusing me mentally and physically, basically like not doing the things I was saying. So why would I want sex from a woman who is dirty? See? Okay. So I would tell her and sit her down and talk to her and say, hey, you're pretty smart. I think you can do this. This is easy. Not walking on the floor barefooted and keeping the kitchen clean and go to work for the white man. Because I did mention to her, this country, you are going to be working. You're not going to be feeding off the SNAP system or the Commonwealth, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But of course, you know how women get tired. And she didn't want to keep doing it, and somehow she just liked to piss me off, not doing as I think I said. So I would separate myself. But anyway, after approximately 5 years, I had to get a divorce anyway because she did try to cheat and she wasn't respecting my words. Okay, she wasn't completely listening to me, and she even put my daughters in school. Okay, and I told her not to do that. Okay, and I told her, hey, cyber school is better, homeschooling is better, but anything, do not put my daughter in the fucking public school. She did it. She started talking to some crackers and some women who are the feminist movement, thinking that they are more superior than me as a man. And I'm like, hey, I already know the statistics. I know what's going to happen. I cannot, it's going to be very hard for me in my way of raising children. And so these things happen, and now everything is reversed back. Over time, everything went back to normal. So I was losing because the spirit was told me not to fight back, and so I didn't fight back. So you know how the court system is; they go through bias. They had no evidence, no abuse situation. She was abusing me. I even told her she even pulled a knife on me because I tried to take the phone from her, a privilege that was blessed by me to give her. And next thing you know, she pulled a knife on me because that was part of her bread and butter or something. Her job is connected to my mouth, okay, my knowledge, okay. I'm on the spiritual side, no matter what she does, okay. So this abuse that I was occurring to me was not being heard by anyone. So the best thing I can do is use psychology and do some research, and I did. Though I could have fought and then just reflected everything back, but I didn't. I had to suffer. When I suffer, I get blessings. That's just how my life is. Look at that color. These are my favorite colors, green and purple. The combination. I like purple. That's my favorite color, though. And I like indigo as well, red and black. But I did tell her everything that was going to happen, even though she was in the wrong, completely in the wrong. I say fucking complete. If you say I'm wrong in any kind of way, like I'm controlling, I was not even controlling with her. It's not like walking on eggshells with me either. Some people like, oh, you guys, when she was like, well, no, it's not. I don't like smokers. I'm not a very social person, and you've been told this, okay? So when you tell someone in advance what they need, you must oblige, or you're abusing them. You're literally abusing them. But I didn't ask for a lot. I'm a very low maintenance male. Okay, even though my high IQ is pretty up there, just like a lot of other guys who are low maintenance. Okay, and for some reason she wanted to wear makeup and cut her hair and all this, and I said you still need to do that. You're making yourself ugly. So she didn't feel good about her beauty. Now I tell her she's ugly now because she did not want to listen to my words. You know how some women are so insecure they have to wear makeup? I told her you don't need to do that unless you're trying to look for another man. But ain't no another man gonna come and mess with me because I'm a psychopath, right? So we gonna have a problem there, and I don't want no wars or no death or anything involved. But of course, everything overall to the end, it worked out well. Now my daughter's just my firstborn daughter. Zaza's being homeschooled and shit, and I'm out of the house. So basically, I got my own place, okay? And it's a great thing to have your own place. I cannot, my voices and my Holy Spirit say, you can no longer have a woman live with you. You must get her situated in another area, separate from your own. And I learned, I said, damn, I didn't believe she would change like that, okay? I didn't put my hands on her. I didn't speak to her ill or nonchalant or carelessly. And I said, hey, you should be happy because for 5 years of talking to you, you should already know how the way I talk, right? But some people sacrifice those secrets to try to take advantage of you. And this is where you have to come into play to have the last laugh. You always have the last laugh if you're thinking more deeper thought. Okay. And when I separated myself from my lady, okay, in the house, the same house we stayed in 2015, I basically was thinking about all of the things that she could do. Okay. The worst things worse is death. Okay. But I don't think she'd go that far because she knows she cares about me and needs me at the same time. Other than that, everything is fine now. But a lot of times it goes under the radar when men are abused in relationships. I say men are the bigger victims now these days in these modern day age times because I've talked to a lot of people in my past. I'm going to say that honestly. So all of the beta males are getting taken advantage of. They're getting taken advantage of by all of the Jezebels because you're being saved for the best for last. And that's why I teach guys how to avoid the pitfalls before you get involved with any female, as a matter of fact, any female. Your standards have to be high enough to where they can't reach. And I give a warning to all you sugar daddies out there. Be careful. Women are going to start maturing themselves to the point to where they think they're entitled to your money, okay? And take you to court. So be careful. If you got a lot of money, you better be living far away in the woods somewhere where she can't. I don't know what I just say. It's not wise to be a sugar daddy, okay? But these days, women don't have enough money or time. But they'll go to someone like Kevin Samuels for terrible advice, okay? But the only thing I see Kevin Samuels have done, rest his peace, his soul, is that he teaches women about accountability. But that's it. There is no other. Every time I hear him about knowledge, some of the things is common knowledge that he should know, but I don't teach common knowledge. Okay. Okay. Now his learning, his teaching abilities is different from mine. I'm a little bit on the off. I'm not ambitious. I don't like this media shit. Okay, because I'm not trying to get caught up in the spells and all that shit. Other than that, that's all I really wanted to say. Men go through more mental anguish and abuse and suffering. For this is my perspective, because I've been with a lot of women who are single mothers watching their kids, and the deadbeat mothers are real. That shit is real. But nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to acknowledge the fact that men go through more mental anguish than men go through it more than women. Okay, and if you do your research and due diligence, you understand I am absolutely correct in that assertion. Okay, but other than that, that's all I really wanted to say. And you guys gotta raise your standards up. That's all you gotta do. If you just stop focusing on the sex part and how beautiful she is, you'll make it. You'll make it very far, very far. When I was younger, I was told by the pimps to say, "Hey, control the vessel. Your sexual energy is important. It's better to be. It's better to die alone." What did it say in Psalms? Okay, like that one guy said, "Please act right." He says in Psalms, it's better to be in the wilderness alone than to be with a woman who nags all of the time. Okay, so think about that. That's in Psalms. Okay, I don't know what chapter or verse, but you get my point here, though. But I was alone most of my life anyway. But when I would be encountering other women through the gigolo business, okay, I would get paid. But that's different. That's a completely different scenario. I don't have sex with used vaginas. I just don't do that. And if a female tells me a monogamous relationship, I'm automatically not interested. Because she don't understand her purpose is not to be selfish. And once you find that out, those two things, obviously, most guys don't. They don't care about a woman's sexual history, or they don't care about forcing a woman into polygyny. They don't care about that because they're betas. They will settle. And lots of men settle. And this is why they come to me sometimes on the side, okay, because I'm a generational X. So other than that, that's all I really got to say about that, guys. Okay, men go through more mental anguish when it comes down to relationship. You see what happened to Johnny Depp. You see what happened to Will Smith. And Will Smith, deep down inside, was a bully. Okay, now, when he revealed himself like that to smack Chris Rock, oh my motherfucking God, oh man. And it wasn't all because of Jada Pinkett, though, because if it was Mike Tyson on that stage, he would have never smacked him. So he was a bully. Okay, he did some terrible bad things. He probably bullied some other people too. I think her name was Vivian and some shit. He bullied her too, got her off the show and shit. But anyway, enough talk before I start rambling on with other things. I love you all, but I hate the many of you. Okay, and I love the animals more than humans. But what do you think I'm gonna say? Don't fuck the animals. Why do I say that? Because in the Far East, these got these ultra beta males who like to have, and they're religious as fuck, and they have sex with animals and bestiality. What kind of shit is that? I hear about it, and I say, don't do that, man. And then I also say, don't turn gay because of a lack of leg, because there's a lot of guys who love money to the point they will turn gay, and I can't be. I remember so many times, guys come like, "Let me give you $1 million so I can fuck you." I said, "No, I don't. You're not coming after this. I'm not for sale. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul, dog. So you sold your asshole, your black eyed pea for a fucking $1 million, and then you don't know how to invest that money. Are you out of your goddamn mind?" Only from me. Look at my numbers. As low as my numbers are, YouTube got this algorithm going. Cool. I'd like to be in the deeper end of the other side of YouTube. But anyway, though I don't break none of their policies, sometimes they'll go back in history fucking with my fucking old videos. Okay. And it didn't even break their policy. Is that somebody likes to report it and trying to get it removed. They got Marthius Norris 3 and been 5 off. I don't know how they got removed. That's just part of my life they want to erase. But I got my life right here. Okay, what happened? Got it right here. But I love you all, but I hate the many of you. And guess what I'm going to say next? I'm not Yo Arse, man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Peace.